And welcome to the Writer's Life, place where you get to sight, sound, smells, taste of my particular writer's life and where you get the truth about the writer's life. Subscribe if you haven't already, punch the like button, and tap that bell for notifications so that you don't miss out on one unbelievably exciting, life changing, mind blowing video, podcast, whatever I want to call it. It's not really a podcast. Sometimes I call it a podcast. I think I do that just to be cool. But I'm free to call it whatever I want, aren't I? Thanks to the First Amendment. But some people don't like the First Amendment. Some people want to get rid of freedom of speech. What happened to the far left and some of these guys who call themselves Republicans but are actually not Republicans, that they're rhinos or whatever? Again, I don't want to get political because I think they're all assholes, but for the most part, I'd like to get rid of the whole government and start all over again, peacefully. Give everybody like an extra $100 on their paycheck and a case of turtle wax and tell them go home, get a real job, and start all over again. But I've been fascinated with the grilling this poor journalist, independent journalist now. He used to work for the New York Times. He used to work for Rolling Stone. He's won 1 million awards, and he's got like 10 or 12 books, New York Times bestsellers, some of them. He's the real thing, Matt Taibbi. And he's a hell of a nice guy from what I hear, because I know people who know him. Just a really nice guy and really dedicated to his craft. He's one of the, in my opinion, one of the last remaining independent journalists out there. The reason he went indie is because he couldn't write what he wanted to write anymore. Like they were telling him what to write, the corporate sponsors or his editors, and he couldn't be free to perform his particular professional brand of investigative journalism. I am not an investigative journalist, but I am a half-assed reporter and freelance writer. And I'm obviously a New York Times bestselling crime writer. That's what I chose to do. But I feel for Matt Taibbi when he got grilled, I guess on the Senate floor the other day, with these. Correct me if I'm wrong if it was a House hearing, but I think it was the Senate floor. But this woman from, I think, Virginia, this representative, Stacy Plaskett, called him a so-called journalist. And he was just like, it was like a slap in the face. He even went like, he was like taken so aback by it. And he corrected her and he said, Ms. Plaskett, with all due respect, I am not a so-called journalist. I've been a reporter for 30 years. I've written 10 books, blah, 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 blah. She didn't want to hear it. She shut him down. She kept trying to shut him down. This is my time. Well, she wasn't saying this is my time, but the second one, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who is just nasty, a nasty person. She just doesn't look like she likes herself very much. She's the one who kept trying to shut him down every time he tried to answer a question. She'd be like, this is my time. Now, in my opinion, again, this goes for some people on the right, like Mitch McConnell, and some people on the left. Shouldn't they be congratulating Matt Taibbi for like uncovering the concerted effort at Twitter to shut down free speech and to actually control social media so that it favored a certain type of person over another type of person, and that it very likely had a tremendous influence on the last election? Shouldn't they be like, way to go, Matt. Way to go. You did your job. This is why we have a free press. I'm proud of him. I'm just glad that I'm really proud of him because he did it as an indie. He left the mainstream, became indie, and it has made all the difference in his life. And they tried to accuse him of actually getting rich off of this. Like those assholes sitting there aren't taking money from corporate interests, um, from whatever, and from big pharma. I mean, like the hypocrisy is just mind blowing. Oh, the irony. Matt Taibbi is just doing his job, and doing it as an indie is difficult because you don't get a steady paycheck. And he even said, to be honest, I think it's been a wash. What he was trying to say was he put so much time and effort into this project that the money he might have made from it, in terms of Substack subscriptions and other things, he's probably like, it's just a wash. And I know exactly what he's talking about because when I work on certain books, certain stories, for my Bear Media label, I write them, and sometimes between the time I put into them, and by the time they come out, when money starts coming in, like it's a wash, like it's not profitable for a while. But I hope he gets a big ass fucking movie deal. I hope he gets like All the President's Men, one of those types of movies, whatever. Anyway, I just had to talk about this because I think as writers, we all should be talking about this just horrendous display by people who want to shut down free speech in this country. And I think it's very important. So definitely part of the writer's life, right? So now on my Twitter, my first pinned post says, I now proudly consider myself a so-called crime and mystery writer. And then a hashtag Matt Taibbi. I was proud to do that. All right, that's all I got for today. Hope to come to you guys tomorrow. It'll be Thursday already. And that's it. Ciao, ciao.